I'm doing, I'm going to take this off, these are annoying. I'm out on the lake, and you guys are here to see the sunset. It's beautiful. It's amazing because it wasn't there. We had nothing. It was all behind the clouds, and it got really dark all of a sudden. And yet the lake has been very, very still. It's very interesting because even though the water is very calm, there's storms happening energetically. I felt it. I've had the energy all day long. I'm going to let you guys watch this as I'm talking. And I found it very, very interesting that the emotional waters are calm and yet there's storms happening. And I wanted to ask you guys how you were doing with the energy because we're leaving Pisces and we're going into Aries. Venus is. Okay, so we're talking about emotions. So Pisces is very emotional, right? Intuitive. And there's two types of intuitive people, right? We've got, well, there's several, but you think about the ones that are very connected to their third eye. So they're clairvoyant, they're psychic, they're able to see things, they're able to pick up on things. And then there are those of us who are connected at our heart. And we're the empaths. And we are feeling and picking up on other people's energy right now. And I am massively picking up on other people's energy right now. And we have to be careful to protect ourselves. And I've been getting that loud and clear all day long, and I think that's what the storm is talking about, the energetic storm, that even though the waters, our emotional waters may be calm. Well, I'll let you do it like this, because maybe you can see. I don't know how to do this in another way. And now I'm totally blind, so I'll have you do this. I'm weird, because I've never taken my reading glasses out here. I got these a little while ago because I realized that I was missing finer details. This is interesting according to this message that I'm getting right now. And like I said, it was all cloudy and the sun wasn't out, so I didn't wear my sunglasses. I thought, okay, I'll just wear these because then I can pick up on any little things that I'm missing. Think about that energetically. There's something that we've been missing. Things are not always as they appear to be. Remember the mallard duck that was fighting, and the female duck and the mallard that was there, and then we saw and we thought that they were in a fight, and she kept trying to get away from him, and she was calling, and then all of a sudden the other duck showed up and was pushing the other male away, and so we realized that there was an issue between two males and a female. And it's interesting because when I got into my boat, my canoe, I left my dock, and there was that mallard that is always around me. And but I also saw an older gentleman in a boat fishing right near me. And I looked at that duck, and I didn't see the female anywhere because I am being represented by the female. Okay, this is my message, or you, whoever this message is for. But what I did see, as I said, was an older fellow fishing right by my dock, and right then I got the message loud and clear from Spirit. I heard Katy Perry's "Things Are Not Always As They Appear." I'm wide awake, so it's like, wow, something that you thought was true is not true, and at the same time they're showing me that there's somebody fishing in your life. There's somebody that's fishing for something around you, and you need to protect yourself from them. Because that's what I was getting loud and clear was, okay, wow, my emotional waters are very, very calm, but there's something going on. I also got that we need to be the hidden protector of someone in our life, or perhaps we don't realize that we have hidden protection around us at this time. And it's interesting because I got that, a friend was just speaking to me, and she said, I feel as though there's energetic vampires. And I said, I understand that, and I get that, a lot of it is our own fault because we've allowed our shields to come down, and yet aren't we grateful that there is hidden protection around us because we got the message from Archangel Michael, you are safe, you and your loved ones are safe, because we're constantly calling and asking for protection, and sometimes we don't see how we're being safeguarded, and yet we are safe. So that's a message not to get into a panic that there's anything like that you're okay, everything's fine. But as we were shown with the mallard duck and that person fishing right next to the dock where the mermaid was, which is where I am, somebody's looking for information. Somebody's trying to get something from you, and it could be energy, it could be who knows what it is that somebody's trying to inappropriately get, and you are being asked to protect yourself. So what we can do is, I said, I'm grateful that Archangel Michael has always got his shield of protection around me, and aren't we grateful for that? And my friend said, yeah, but I still have my armor up. And I said, good job, because we need to do our part as well. And she said she was concerned with leaks. And I said, well, you know, first of all, don't put your emphasis on that. Put your emphasis on all is well. We are safe. But God helps those who help themselves, right? We know that we need to put a shield around ourselves. We also know, okay, the sun's down enough, I can talk to you guys. It's funny, I wanted to get away from that person fishing, because energetically, that's what I'm feeling. I want to get away from whoever it is that's trying to fish and get something from me. And I said to her, okay, yeah, put up, this is what you affirm, that I have my energetic shield up. I have, I know that Archangel Michael's on my side. I kept thinking, you know what? Sometimes you don't get things you want because you're being protected. And I heard in my head, thank God for unanswered prayers, right? It all kind of comes together, and how everybody else picks this up and applies it into their life, that's up to you. But what we do for ourselves, I said I have my own shield up, right? I have my own armor up, and the bullets they're flying at me, and I feel them and I see them, but they're bouncing off of me. They're not going to penetrate. They're not going to get to where they want to get. They're not going to get what they want to get. So the person that's fishing around my dock, trying to get something from me, they're not going to get what they want, because I am protected, and the ones that I love are protected. And yet I'm going to be actively more aware of this, because I am going to say, and I have said to her, what we need to do is we need to say, okay, boundaries. Define your boundaries. When you feel uncomfortable and you feel like someone's crossing your boundaries, make sure you put your boundaries up. Ask for protection of your own. Know that you are being protected by spirit, but also that we put up our own shields. Also ask that anything in our auric field, if there are any tears or any holes in our auric field, that they be stitched up. I'm drifting now. See, I'm drifting in the wind. Okay, so I'm drifting. So I need to get back to what I was speaking about. How are you feeling with this energy? The ones that are connecting, there's a lot of people that are able to see. We all have gifts. Some people can see through their third eye, and they're able to see things. I feel through my heart. I see things, and I pick things up energetically, psychically. I connect empathically, but I don't need to take on the other person's issues. And that's what we need to protect ourselves from. It's difficult with empaths. I'm gonna have to row us out of this area. See, sometimes we gotta pick up our tools and use them, right? I can sit in this boat and I can just drift along and hope that I get sent into the area that I want to go to, or I can pick up my own oar and move my boat. So sometimes you need to pick up and get away from where you are. That's the message. I don't know who that person was over there. I'm not afraid of them. It was just a message, and it needed to be played out in order for this message to be understood by you. That sometimes it's not enough for us to put up our shield of protection where we are. Sometimes we literally need to remove ourselves from where we are, because the energy is not good. We don't want to be where there's drama. We don't want to be where people are taking from us, where there's a lower vibrational energy. And that was just displayed by the fact that I saw somebody by my dock fishing as I was thinking those messages, and I started to drift away, and I had to pick up my tool and move myself, okay? Get myself into a place where I feel safe. Now, what's interesting to me is there's the mallard right there in front of my boat, okay? So this guy's not going away. Now, what's interesting is I don't think that the mallard represents the person who's fishing for information, because this mallard is always with me. So to me, that's what I'm being shown, that I have hidden protection around me. And that's who this mallard, that's the mallard, that's who he represents to me. That I have hidden protection around me at this time, so do you. That person is over there fishing, still by my dock, and this one's not going to leave my side. So there's the hidden protection. It also, like I said, shows that maybe you need to be the hidden protector of someone else. So you pay attention to whatever that message is for you. Today, as I said, we are just leaving Pisces. Venus is just leaving Pisces. So Pisces is the emotional sign. Going into Aries tomorrow. I am the Aries, and Aries is very aggressive. And we want to move, but we have to allow things to unfold at their proper time. And like I said, for some reason I recognized that the lake was very calm, the water was very calm, but I felt emotional energy or energetic chaos. I felt like there were still storms. So sometimes it gives the appearance that that's another message. Okay, that's another really good message. Sometimes it appears to us like everything's okay on the surface, but underneath there's something going on. Now see, look at the water's all stirred up right now. And even though it's felt like it was very, very peaceful, it may not be safe to move forward yet for some of us. For others, it's about, or not about safe to move forward. It's not about, it's about certain ones waiting, because something has to unfold, or the pieces have to come together, but somebody has to move. Somebody is needing to move forward. You need to get up and go. We've been getting this message again and again that it's time to move. You've been given the message over and over again, and you're not listening, and it's time to move. I'm so tired. How have you guys been? I haven't slept in so long I can't even tell you. And you can probably see because it's probably magnified in my glasses. Okay, so what are you looking at? Things, you're magnifying things. So maybe things in another way. It might be that, like, I was missing finer details, right? And now I can see sharply. I can see clearly now. What is that? I can see clearly now. The rain has gone. Okay, so I can see clearly. So rain would be falling emotion. All of the dark clouds have burned away. And then I posted something earlier today about the sun. Was it yesterday? And I said that here comes the sun. So a dark period like that we had is burning off, and the sun is what burns it off. But okay, I have to remember where I was. But because the magnifying, sometimes it makes things bigger than they are, bigger than life, right? So you may be getting. You're in your head too much, and you're blowing things up out of proportion, and maybe you're making it bigger than it needs to be. Things aren't as bad as you think they are. So I got that from Spirit as well. Things are not as bad as you think. There are things that you didn't get, and maybe you're jumping to conclusions. Oh, there's my other message. Okay. The other message was, because I got masquerade, and I got things are not as they appear. And what was coming up earlier, and I don't know how this came up, but it talked about gossip. And it talked about that there's somebody that you care about, that there's something has been said about them, and it's not true. And it's pretty bad what was said about them. And they're in need of a real friend, a true friend, because where have their friends gone? And I was going to say to you, has it ever happened to you before that you have had somebody accuse you of something that you didn't do? It was really, I did. I have had it happen. I mean, we've all had stuff like that happen, but I have had 3 really big times where something happened, and literally one of my own parents believed what they were told, and because they weren't there to see it, they weren't there to understand the dynamics in the house that were happening, and why I behaved the way I did, and why I reacted, and I ran away. And I'll tell you, I mean, my father felt like I had, dropped a bomb on the family. I was a terrorist because I had caused an embarrassment to the family, but had no idea what I was running from. And he was involved in it. He was what I was running from. And he didn't remember what he had done. And it's interesting because he does remember now what he did, but he doesn't seem to still understand that that's why I ran. That's why I left. And there was an embarrassment brought to the family, and yet it was like, what goes around comes around. You reap what you sow. And so there was one example, but there was also another time when I was accused of something, and I didn't even know I was accused of it. Other people were talking about it. These people didn't know me, but they knew the person who was talking. And the person misunderstood something, literally, at the time. It wasn't actually that they had done something maliciously. They literally believed what they assumed. They had assumed something about me. Because they saw something and they read it wrong, and they assumed something really horrible about me. And like I said, I didn't even know. Everyone was talking at my work, and I had no idea. And then when I found out, I talked to my boss, and I said, can you tell this person that's not the truth? And he did. He tried to, but I don't know if the person ever really believed it. It was something that had happened before in this person's life, and so that was a very sensitive subject to them. But unfortunately for me, I looked like this. What was said was really, really horrible. And so there may be somebody. So basically, it's about assuming, right? It's about assuming what you don't know, and it's about gossip, and it's about like, say you're with some people and they're talking, right? And they're saying something about somebody, and interesting, as I say this, that guy's taking off. I find that interesting, right then. And I'm seeing 2 women on a paddleboard next to me in the water, Emotional waters, 2 women. So to me, in this situation that's happening right now, there's 2 women involved and a man. I don't know what's happening in your life. I'm just showing you what I'm seeing because it may relate to what's going on in your life. So anyway, say people are talking about somebody and you don't know this person, but these people act as though they do. So what do? You know, are you going to believe what this person has said? They know the person, but what if they don't know the person? And what if they're wrong? What do you do when it comes to gossip? Go away. Don't involve yourself in gossip. And if you don't know something for certain, find out. Do your research, whatever you need to do to find out if this is the truth or not. And if you can't do it, just step away. Step away from people's drama. It's not your drama. So for me, it was horrible what I was accused of. It was terrible, and I didn't do it. I would never. It's not the kind of person I am. And I know most of the people now realize that, but like I said, for a long time I wasn't even aware that people were talking about it, and it was pretty horrible. Another time, it was all amongst my friends, and somebody had confided something to me, and it was really horrible, and it was between 2 people that I loved, and I didn't know what to do. And I've been given this before from Spirit, where it's called The Secret, and you're in a position where you've got some information that has been told to you, and it's between 2 people that you love. What do? And you know that you have to speak up. And there's gonna be chaos. It's gonna cause a major problem. But your courage, you have to listen to your heart. You have to follow your heart, and you have to speak up. And even though there's going to be chaos that's going to ensue from this, eventually it's going to settle down, and your courage is going to be appreciated, because without that, the truth wouldn't have come out, and it wouldn't have been able to be dealt with. So this happened when I was 16, and I went to my dad, and I said, what do I do? And it's funny because you think about your dad as I think about him as my father, right? Our Father in heaven. So what do? I don't understand. So it's like this at the same time. When I've been given this message before, I've had it happen to me again. But this time I was 16, and I went to my dad and I said, what do I do? And he said, you know what you're supposed to do. That's your friend. You need to speak. You know, you need to speak up. And so I did, and the person denied it. And I was so angry because I walked into a bathroom. It was so funny. I was out with everyone. They were all my friends, and I walked into a bathroom, and everyone was talking. And I said, what's going on? And the girl that I told said that she had asked this person what I'd said, and she denied it. And I looked at the person, and I called her on it, and I said, that's not the truth. You know that. I don't lie. And that's one thing I don't lie. I don't lie. I don't lie. I have a huge issue with that. And I wish I had never gotten involved. And yet, you know, I was told by my dad. I listened to my dad. I did what my dad told me to do, and I told her. And so she stood there, and she was very good. She was very good. She was a very manipulative person, and she had this face, and she just said, "You're crazy," basically, and denied what I'd said. And I lost it. I lost my cool, and I stormed out of there. And because I responded in that fashion, because I acted that way, I looked like I was guilty. Like I'd made it up, and I'd just gotten caught. It was horrible. It went on for 10, 15 years, and years later, my friend that I went to, that I told, I said to her, you know, it's always bothered me. It broke up the friendships, me. I had nothing to do with that person. I still never have. After all these years, it's probably been 25 years since then. And I have retained friendships with her husband, and I retained friendships with... actually, none of them. I walked away from the other ones, but I did go to the one that I had spoken to years, like I said, 15 years later, and I said, you know, it really bothers me what happened that day, and upsets me to think that you would believe that I would say something like that about you. And she said, I never believed it. I knew that you had told the truth. She goes, I just didn't want the drama. She goes, I'm sorry if you thought that I believed that. And I said, wow, you know, it's tortured me for all these years because I really thought that you thought that of me. And she said, never. I knew she was lying. She's a liar. She's a manipulator. That's what she does. And she goes, I just wanted to keep the peace. So sometimes it's not okay to keep the peace. It hurt me for so many years. Sometimes you need to speak up. Sometimes you need to set the record straight. So that comes up. What else do I need to tell you? Take a look right now. The stormy skies. Isn't that amazing the way it looks? There were so many things that I wanted to speak about, and I can't think right now. I know I'll think about them afterwards. Maybe I should look around. Maybe I should try in a row. So I'm not drifting right now. So clearly this is what I did need to speak about. And you guys know that I use my own life, you know, in my teaching. That's just what I do. And it's because I know it. It's because it's lessons that I've learned. And when we learn our lessons and we share them with other people, it's in hopes that somebody else isn't going to have to go through what you've gone through, right? So that's why I do it. I'm not really concerned if I'm embarrassed, because I'm not embarrassed. It happened to me. I have no problem. You know, something happens and I made a mistake, or, you know, and I messed up and this is what happened because of it. You know, I have no problem saying I blew it, you know. I did this, or I got myself into this position, or I looked stupid, or I didn't handle it right, or whatever it was. I don't have a problem with that. So don't, if you've ever messed up, if you've ever done something and you didn't handle it the way maybe you found out later that you should, or you wish that you had, don't be worried about saying something, you know? Don't be worried that you're going to be judged for that. I think that if you tell the truth, no matter what happens, sorry, here's the wind, I gotta roll this again. If you tell the truth, that's all that you can do. That's all that you can do. You've done your part. You've done what you're supposed to do. You're telling this truth. You're speaking the truth, and that's appreciated. And if somebody, how other people react is not it's not for you to deal with. It's not for you to worry about. That's their deal. You are responsible for being honest. You are responsible for not covering up, for telling the truth, for admitting when you've done something wrong, or clarifying something. If you are in a position to put somebody's suffering to an end by speaking up, do it. Do whatever you can in order to help another person, you know? Interesting. Okay, so what I'm seeing right now, I just saw a giant white heron go by on the water, taking off, and then I see another white heron here going by. And I'm going to speak about the heron on Sunday for our weekly reading, but it's going to be the blue heron. It's amazing the information that I got from that. But the heron, God, the sky's beautiful. The heron speaks about independence, standing on your own 2 feet. You know, you're different than other people. You don't need everybody else's approval. You can fly on your own. You don't need to have the approval of everyone. You don't need to fit in. You don't need to make everyone else happy. All you need to do is make sure that you're happy and that you're feeling good about yourself. Do the right thing for the right reason, and then justice is done. That's all. Do the right thing for the right reason. And when you do, Spirit will make sure that it works out for you. They just do. Things always come out in the wash. You know, the truth always comes out in the end. But if you can do something about having it come out in a way, here I'm gonna row, in a way where other people aren't harmed, do that. I think I'm gonna leave it at that. It's getting kind of dark. I got a police boat on the water, and I don't have my light on, so I got to put my light on. So I'm trying to think of what that would represent. A police boat on the water. Put my light on. What would that mean? Well, it would mean put my light on. See this little light I've got at the end of my boat? Because when the water is dark, we need a light. So, I mean, when it's dark outside, you need a light to guide you. Okay, so if you don't know where you're going and you're in the dark about something, shine a light. How do you shine a light? You can ask for a light. You can ask Spirit to light it up for you. You can shine a light on a situation because somebody else is in the dark. That's the message that I got for, you know, if you're in a position to help somebody and oh, it's pretty that way, and somebody's in the dark about something, do what you can to brighten up the situation. What else would it mean? Don't go out on your emotional waters in the dark unless you have a light. How about that? Gosh, isn't that beautiful? And you know what's so cool about this? I'm so glad I'm recording right now so you can see this. What's so cool about this is normally when I'm out, I've got my sunglasses on, and I'm thinking, oh wow, it's so beautiful, the color, the reflection on the water is just amazing, and the clouds are so amazing. But right now, I just have my regular glasses on, and I'm literally seeing the truth. I am seeing this incredibly beautiful reflection on the water, and that's a message in itself. The colors, I got a message about that. You want to see the colors in reality. I spoke today about, oh, I won't even bring that up. It was about drugs and the effect of illusions. You know, how people who take, oh, I'm talking about it anyway, I might as well talk about it, psychedelic drugs or whatever drugs they take, and they see all this rainbow of colors, and it's not real, it's not truth. So that's the message of the dragonfly. Funny that I say dragonfly, because dragon is what they call heroin. And you're seeing a false reality. It's not real. And so I don't have sunglasses on, so it's like, or maybe it's like take your rose-colored glasses off, you know? Because you know how sunglasses have a shading in them, and you're able to, it helps your eyes, it feels good to your eyes, but it shows you something that's not realistic. So you say, oh, it makes me feel good when I do this, when they were doing the drugs or whatever, but what you're seeing is not truthful. It's an illusion. So take off the rose-colored glasses, whatever that stands for in your life. A drug can be anything. It can be food, it can be sex, it can be work, it can be whatever you obsess on or put your attention on, that's a drug to you. So take off the rose-colored glasses and see reality. So I'm literally seeing the reflection on my emotional waters, and what I'm seeing is truth, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's realistic and it's real, and I love it. I love that message. Gosh, it's beautiful out here. I'm very, very grateful for this lake. All right, I think that's it. So there was a lot in there. I hope you guys were able to follow me. I know it's kind of all over the place, and I don't know. I was getting this all day long, and I knew that I was supposed to speak and get out on the water, and yet I needed to work. You know, I needed to make some money, and I kept getting the same kind of messages from people that were coming to me, and a lot of lying, a lot of misinformation, a lot of manipulation going on in people's lives, and I was just like, wow. And the divine hand, I kept getting the divine hand, and that's spirit putting up the divine hand and saying no. And it's I was getting definitely putting up a shield, and I was definitely getting remove yourself from energy that's bad, or and literally, it's time to move. It's time to get out now. And I was also told, you know, even though you may be a kind, gentle person who doesn't like to basically pick up a sword, they're asking you to pick up your sword of protection. You're a peaceful warrior. I'm a peaceful warrior, but I carry a big frickin' stick. And I am told, pick up your sword and protect yourself. And at this time, that's what you're supposed to do. Whoever it is that's been manipulating you or taking advantage of you or taking from you what you have worked hard for inappropriately, you're supposed to defend yourself. And you're supposed to take up the sword and say, stay back. You're supposed to step into your truth. I know that me, as I said, we're leaving, Venus is leaving Pisces and going into Aries. What's interesting about me is, we're told right now, be careful with the words that we use, because the negative words can be very, very cutting at this time, but the positive words can be very healing. And yet I need to follow my heart. We need to follow our heart and do what your heart tells you. So I kept hesitating and hesitating coming out on the water and doing this reading, and yet I knew I was supposed to speak. Now, I am an Aries, but I'm in a Pisces moon. So I get a double whammy. I get information psychically through my third eye very, very clearly, and I get information through my heart. So I am empathetically picking up, and it's very difficult for empaths. We have to constantly shield and protect ourselves so we don't take on that energy. Whereas some people just pick up information through their third eye and they're not connected emotionally to it. I am connected emotionally to it. So we're leaving Pisces, so the energy for the emotional, or for the just sight is kind of moving forward and away, and we're going into our the Aries, which is the aggressive movement, because I'm an Aries as well as a Pisces. I'm raring to go. I'm the horse that wants to go, go, go. And yet I have to make sure that everything is okay. Even though the water looks like it's calm, there seems to be that electrical storm still brewing. So I have to be patient and allow, watch myself as I move forward. And so I'm speaking for myself because you can relate to this however it works for you. What else? Aries, Pisces, rose-colored glasses. So I guess what it's showing is you need to pay attention to what your higher self is saying. Always check in with your heart and what Spirit's saying to you. Some of us are meant to stay and wait still, be a secret protector of someone in our lives. Remember, we were shown that there's somebody that in our life that might be in need of a true friend, because there's gossip, and you have to ask yourself, you know, do I know this person? Is this the kind of person that would be this way? Reserve judgment if you don't know this person. But if you know somebody and this is happening, hold on to your loyalty. Who are you? Who is this person to you? What do you know about this person? It doesn't matter what's been told, even though it looks really, really bad. You know that person. So hold on to your loyalty. I kept getting that. Loyalty, loyalty. I'm as loyal as they ever come. True loyal to my friends. And so there's somebody that's in need of a true friend. There's somebody that needs to get out of a situation and move quickly right now. And there's somebody that needs to be waiting patiently, and knowing it's okay that loved one is safe, and that they are safe as well. But to be sure to shut down any leaks that we have, plug up any leaks in our auric field, in our energetic connection with other people. Maybe it's time to seal your borders a little bit. I'm not accepting, I'll let you know right now, I'm not accepting any friend requests at all the way across the board. I've been told to shut down my board, and I'm not. It's not personal to each person that's asking me. I just am told to do that for my own protection. I have there's a feather. Whenever a feather shows up, it says that an angel is near. It was probably Archangel Michael, since that's who we were talking about. I don't know if you guys caught that. So that's one way for me to protect my borders. I'm not accepting any people that I don't know. Unfortunately, I have a ton. It's not unfortunately, but I got a ton of people on my friends list because it's my work. But for you, and in other areas, I know I am closing down all conversation. Anybody that I don't know, that I haven't met personally, I'm not talking about my personal life at all. At all. I appreciate your concern, or you feel that we've connected on over the years or whatever. We've gotten to know each other that way. But if I don't know you, I'm not talking about my personal life. So please don't ask. And I need to learn that. I have been very trusting, and I'm probably been way too open. So, as I said, there's somebody around my dock, the Mermaid's Landing, that's what it's called, that's mine, fishing. So somebody is trying to get some information from me, and I need to make certain that I'm not giving it out. So in your life, use that as an example. Are you the person that needs to get out of a situation that's dangerous for you? Is it time for you to move? Are you the heron that needs to get, the crane that needs to get moving? Are you someone that needs to be the protector of someone else? Are you someone that needs to just allow things to fall together? It could be that there's in your emotional waters everything is calm, but you feel this energetic chaos that's going on. It might be connected to someone in your life, someone that you love, the person that you need to be the hidden protector of. And so at that time, what you need to do is be a port in a storm, right? My emotional waters are calm, but there's something going on out there. So stay away from the drama. Say no to drugs, say no to drama. Drop it. I don't want it even outside my door. Don't come to me with it. People start gossiping or talking, walk away from it. Don't involve yourself in it. Anybody speaks about a friend, you be a friend. Be a friend. You want to be a friend, you want to have a friend, you need to be a friend, right? And right now I'm seeing, you guys probably can't see it, but there are two grosbeaks together, very, very close, and they're going up to the no wake zone very slowly. That's a message too. It's only 5 miles an hour in the no wake zone. But the grosbeak speaks about healing in relationships. There's a deep healing going on in relationships, and there was two of them come together. So that's what's going on at this moment. That's good that they showed up right there in a pair, because they're on each other's team, right? Think about that too. And they've been in this no wake zone, so it looks like they're out of that now, and it looks like that's what's going on in your life. That you guys probably can't even see it. I'm pointing to it. I can see it very clearly, but I always realize that you look later and you guys can't see it as well as me. So they're out of the no wake zone. So they're now in the open water, and then they can move forward. So that's what they're saying. You may be just about in that place where you're going to be able to move forward. Maybe you haven't been able to move forward. You've been in the no wake zone, the slow zone, and going 5. And 5, remember, 5 talks about big positive changes, big changes in your life. Big changes are rumbling through your entire existence at this time. And you always for the better. It's always for the better. Even if it feels chaotic, it's always for the better. And they're saying, but it's a good idea to call upon Spirit for help, to help you with these changes, with these transitions. So that's what's going on. They just got past the five zone, but that was the message that needed to come out. And they are clearly both going together in the open water. You can't see it now, it's too dark. So that's it. I'm going to wrap it up. It's too dark even for me to talk to you guys right now. And you got all the colors. And anyway, I think I got everything that I was supposed to say. Been doing a lot of videos lately. I like that. Anyway, thanks for joining. I think that's it. Okay. Peace, love, and light.